I was scrolling across Amazon and I saw this cable attachment and I just thought it was so weird that I had to buy it. I haven't seen anyone review it. I haven't seen anyone buy it or have it in their home gym. So I figured, why not buy it and figure out what it's for. It looks like a mag grip that's deformed or had AI used on it or inbred mag grips or something like that. I can't figure out what it's really used for, but we're gonna unbox it and figure that out today. Let's see. Okay, definitely made in China. Got some Chinese on it. Oh, that was a carabiner. Kind of looks like a Batman symbol. So that's what it is. It's pretty much flat. Kind of feels like a V-bar, but has these holes. So my first thought is you just use it as a V-bar. Oh, actually that's kind of comfortable. And I guess you could do bicep curls also. But yeah, flat. And then it has the texture of a mag grip. So let's check it out on the cable machine. Here is a Amazon screenshot of this grip. You can't even like find it on Amazon. You try to search for it and the name is just so generic that this thing will not pop up. I had to use Google Lens to take a picture of it and search for the picture of it. For this video's purpose, I'm gonna call it the V grip, just so we have a name to call it when I'm talking about this and reviewing it. Since it's really hard to search for this grip, I'll leave a link of where you can buy it on Amazon in the description below. Okay, after using this thing for a bit, I think I figured out what it is. To me, it's the child of a mag grip and a V-bar. Combined, you get this abomination. So pretty much, it's trying to be a V-bar, and it's trying to do what a V-bar does with a few differences. So let's get into what I like and don't like about this cable attachment. So this V grip, it pretty much does everything that a V-bar does. But for, let's say, tricep push downs, I'd say it's a lot more ergonomic. It feels a lot better. So with a V-bar, when you're pulling the weight, you're pulling it with a lot more with your pinky and your ring finger. Whereas with this V grip, you're pulling it more, you could pull it with pretty much just your thumb and index finger. And that's kind of where your pushing weight is coming from, which is a lot more comfortable for me. Like you could either rest your thumbs on top like that or put them in the holes like that to push down. So the weight comes from your thumb and index finger instead of the V bar, which comes from more your pinky and ring finger. So that is a lot more comfortable for me. And then the same goes for when you're doing the overhead motion like that. The same applies where you're pulling more with your thumb and your index finger, which is a lot more comfortable. Like this. So I'd say doing any kind of tricep work with this cable attachment, the V grip, is just more comfortable and ergonomic over the regular V-bar. Not saying the V-bar doesn't do its job, it does the job perfectly fine. I'd say the V grip is just a little more comfortable. So something the V-bar actually does a little better is bicep curls. So it does the job with the V-bar and comfortable. When I try to do it with the V grip, there's nowhere really to place my thumbs. So it's a little awkward placement with my thumbs trying to do a bicep curl. So on Amazon, they actually have two models of this. One with the hole here, and then one with the hole down here, which I'm assuming that one is for doing bicep curls. So you have a hole to put your thumb in. Otherwise, You just have one for the tricep, and then you can buy the other one with the hole over here for the bicep. That design is a little flawed because why don't you just put a hole here and a hole here? That way you can do push down. And if you had another hole here, you can also do bicep curls. So you could do both of those with one instead of creating two of these models, which inhibit it to only do one of those exercises well. So I'd say they definitely could have designed that better. But anyways, I don't even know why they designed this in the first place. It's just so weird, and it really only functions and does one thing. Like, if you have a V-bar already, do not buy this. Like, it's pretty unnecessary. Actually, I'd probably get a V-bar over this just because it's more comfortable doing tricep and bicep. And it's probably cheaper than this. So, I mean, if you want a little more ergonomic doing tricep pushdowns and overhead tricep work, I'd say it's a lot more comfortable, but that's your decision to make whether this is right for you.
3 weeks later.
It's been about a few weeks now since I've gotten the V-grip. And honestly, at first, I thought it was really stupid. I already have a V-bar, and this thing does the exact same thing as a V-bar, but it does bicep exercises worse. So I was like, I don't need this thing. I wouldn't really recommend it, but honestly, after these few weeks of using it, my opinion on it kinda has changed, because for the past few weeks, anytime I do triceps now, I find myself grabbing this thing over a V-bar, just because it's just a lot more comfortable on the wrist. With the V-bar, I find my wrist pinching a lot here because that's where the pulling weight is coming from. But with the V-grip, the weight comes from more your thumb, so I don't have wrist problems or wrist pain when I'm pulling heavy for my triceps using this grip over the V-bar. The only downside of this is that it doesn't really do bicep curls very well, just because it doesn't have holes up here also. But I'm sorry for everything bad I said about this thing. Honestly, at first I thought it was really stupid, but it's grown on me. I kind of like it now. It's kind of had the same effect on me, similar to my lat pull down mag grips that I have. Because before I went to commercial gyms and all they really had was lat pull down bars, and I've been using that for several years when I was starting out my lifting career. And ever since I got the mag grips, like I don't use lat pull down bars anymore, just because the mag grips are so much more comfortable on your wrist. And now I have the exact same notion with this V-grip. You don't need it if you've never used it and you're fine using a V-bar, then that's fine. But if you use this thing, it's hard to turn back once you see how comfortable this thing is. So if you like mag grips and you kind of want a similar thing to replace your V-bar with this, then I would recommend this. Otherwise, if you're happy with a V-bar, I would stick with the V-bar. It does everything just as well, just a little more discomfort on your wrists, in my opinion. So I recommend this thing for anyone wanting a slight upgrade. It's not a huge upgrade, but a slight upgrade over a V-bar.